towards the end of last week, we got major news that BlackRock was filing for a Bitcoin ETF. Over the weekend, it looks like Fidelity has also decided to possibly join the party. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a great weekend. Some people have have Monday off in the U.S., so for the people that do have Monday off, enjoy your long weekend. Anyways, over the weekend, it seems that this news started to develop. Fidelity Investments, rumored to file Bitcoin spot ETF in the U.S., bid for Grayscale. Okay, so they're actually talking about two separate things here. Either they are going to file for a Bitcoin ETF or they may be looking to purchase Grayscale. And again, this right now seems to be just rumors. Let's dive into it, though. For the people that haven't been following the BlackRock news, here's a little bit of a summary before we dive into the Fidelity piece. So experts believe the application has a strong chance of being approved given BlackRock's strong political connections and its staggering success rate with ETF applications. Talk about picking winners and losers. Out of 576 applications filed with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, only one application has been rejected so far, while 575 applications have been approved. I mean, like, it's such pay-to-play bullshit. But anyways, whatever. I mean, I know that some people want to pretend that this is like free market and all this stuff, but this is fucking nonsense. Because let's be honest, right? There's been several other entities that have filed for ETFs, all of them being rejected. But of course, BlackRock will most likely get approved. Anyways, that's just my opinion, and obviously the opinion of the author here. Let's continue. The third largest asset manager, Fidelity, could soon follow suit, according to rumors, and also apply for a spot Bitcoin ETF and or make a bid for the troubled leading crypto asset manager, Grayscale. While several accounts reported it, the source for the rumor appears to be Arch Public co-founder Andrew Parrish. Remarkably, the rumor has been spread by notable crypto influencers such as Scott Melker, Michael Van de Poppe, and Ash Crypto. The rumored bid for Grayscale, however, is no less interesting than the ETF application. As is well known, Grayscale's parent company, Digital Currency Group, has been in trouble for quite some time with its finances remaining opaque. Grayscale is considered DCG's cash cow, holding over 630,000 Bitcoin in its Bitcoin Grayscale Trust, GBTC. That's right. They hold the actual Bitcoin and they hand you paper Bitcoin that is worthless. Anyways, Bitcoin is the bearer asset. So if you actually want to hold Bitcoin, getting conned into holding GBTC, like that. So look, obviously, you know, we have all different types of Bitcoiners out there. That's just fiat maximalism. That's all it is. Okay. It's like, you don't give a fuck about Bitcoin. You just care about having more dollars. And that's perfectly fine. You don't even really care that the dollar's purchasing power is going down as long as you continue to have more dollars. BlackRock's and Fidelity's entry into the Bitcoin market can be seen as a net positive event, driving prices and providing legitimacy to the industry. This is the beauty about Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't need this crap for legitimacy. It does what it's actually supposed to do. You can transfer value around the world, censorship resistant and permissionless. It simply does what it needs to do. And it does it very well with a network uptime of 99.98% from its inception. So this idea of bringing legitimacy to the industry, this is done on purpose, okay? Because they understand that the people reading this crap, for the most part, they need to be told how the industry is, and they need to be told how it's working. Okay, so by bringing people these types of ideas like the net positive event and bringing legitimacy to the industry, this is grifter speak for real. The net positive crap is total grifter speak. And then the idea of bringing legitimacy to the industry, there's only Bitcoin. Bitcoin's already legitimate. Everything else around it is complete scams, total scams. And it's not me just saying that. You can go take a look. After gold received its first spot ETF approval in the US in 2004, the price literally exploded in the following years. Now, what does he mean by that? Essentially, before there was a gold ETF, the gold market was approximately $2.5 trillion. After the ETF was approved, the gold market shot up to over $10 trillion, just to give you an idea. So that's pretty much a 5x. So that's a lot. And again, right, this is all hopium, right? This is all fantastic hopium. Shout out to fellow Bitcoiner Ant. I think he made a very good point. And for the people who don't know Ant, you might want to follow him. He is a awesome pleb, awesome Bitcoiner, and he is the creator of TimeChainStats.com and TimeChain Calendar. Yeah, I can't do as good of a job as Vilson of doing the ad, so I'm not even going to try. Anyways, okay, so here, this is what Ant had to say. Twitter Bitcoiners and the banks. Also, Twitter Bitcoiners cannot wait for the Bitcoin ETF. And I think that this is very, very important to finish off with that tweet, okay? And I think that Ant is absolutely right. So look, there is this incredible dualistic, this was actually part of my response, right? That human beings, like, we are dualistic in nature, whether we want to accept it or not, right? Whether we want to accept it or not, right? Everything that we deal with, happy, sad, good, evil, up, down, like everything is dualistic, and human beings, right, whether we want to accept it or not, we're all hypocrites, okay? Like that's just what it is. Like, sorry, like every single human being is a hypocrite. Nobody's a superhuman, okay? Nobody's a superhuman. I know the feeling, right? It's like part of me is pleased that these institutions are coming, but I also know what these institutions mean. And I know what they do, and I know that they exist and thrive in a rigged system, a system that picks winners and losers, and those are the winners that were picked. So it just becomes frustrating, right? It definitely becomes frustrating. The other side is this, okay? So we've been seeing two different versions of the argument for BlackRock, right? The spot ETF. Now, are they going to do a spot ETF, or are they going to do a futures ETF? I mean, I keep seeing spot ETF over and over again in the news and in people's tweets, but is that actually the case? A spot ETF, I believe, would cause the Bitcoin fiat exchange rate to skyrocket. I definitely do. Whereas I believe that futures trading would be a massive mechanism for price manipulation, because you don't ever actually have to deliver any of the BTC for the contracts, right? So no BTC is actually ever being purchased off the market or moved or anything like that for the futures. Whereas a spot ETF, there would need to be physical delivery of the Bitcoin. In terms of market perception, in terms of normie perception, right? Like, we got to mention it, right? Normie perception, seeing these institutions like BlackRock and like Fidelity come to the table, that's big news. Now, I also want to remind everyone, Fidelity is not new to this game. Fidelity's been around in terms of Bitcoin. They've been supporting in quotations. They have been paying attention and growing their presence in the Bitcoin and crypto space since approximately 2018. So it's nothing new. And also, I just, the other piece I wanted to add to this was that a few weeks ago, I believe it was, I made a video discussing, or I believe it was a clip that was discussing exactly this, right? The major institutions, like, you'll notice that BlackRock has come to the table now after everything has blown up, after the market looks like it's dead, right? This is a prime opportunity to come in and lay claim to legitimacy. And I think that is not a coincidence. I don't think so at all. What I said in the past was this. These businesses have understood, they have been watching, okay? They've been watching the market. They see exactly how much money there is. Forget about the money. The demand, human greed, right? I mean, this is, and hey, shitcoin markets, Bitcoin market, it is open 24/7. 24/7, lots of volatility, lots of opportunity, okay? And these people, their sole job is to generate alpha, okay? So they're not stupid. Now, they dipped their toes in the water. They invested in some little crypto companies and stuff like that. And, they let them have a little bit of a foothold, or let them have some fun. But now they've seen how much money they can make. They've seen exactly how big this is and how much bigger it could be if steered by the noble architects of the banking system. So they're coming in. I believe that. I believe that now they're ready. They're going to come in. They're going to stake their claim, and we're going to watch the show. Anyways, do I think that's good or bad for Bitcoin? I mean, look, Bitcoin, the network itself, doesn't give a fuck. It's just going to process transactions. It doesn't make a difference. In terms of perception with the normies, yeah, I think it is going to help the perception with the normies. If BlackRock never came to the table, would I give a shit? No, I wouldn't. Yeah, you know, like, I mean, obviously we want Bitcoin to gain in value, or I should say in fiat exchange. But the reality is this, right? If it's one particular institution that makes that happen, are we even here for the right thing? Like, is Bitcoin even what we say it is, if that's what's needed? Bitcoin was already doing what it was supposed to do, guys. Okay? Don't forget that. Don't forget that. And keep in mind, Bitcoin is an open system. So whether or not we get these very expensive cheerleaders, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Bitcoin wins because it has the properties that people desire. And the more people wake up to the fact that their value is being robbed by virtue of participating in a system, they are going to opt to save more and more in Bitcoin and to learn more and more about the network. All right, guys, that does it for today's clip. Like and subscribe, and I will catch you all tomorrow.